So I just got home from a singles event in Houston. It's called Crush Club. This is my take. The ratio to women to men was like 5 women to every 1 man. And not a lot of the men were attractive. But, I mean, what can Crush Club do? They can't really do anything about that. What I can say, though, it was a lot of fun. I'm not gonna lie. It was a lot of fun. The people there were great. I did spend my night talking to one person mainly that I knew wasn't my type, but he was so cool. Like, I had fun. I'm not gonna lie. But yeah, I don't know. I'm definitely gonna check out another one. And who knows, you know?
Just in case you still have the false understanding that misandry is not a threat to our nation, to our world, I'd like to point to an example of a case of a woman in Ohio, Brittany Pilkington, who smothered to death her 3 sons, including infants, over a course of about a year because there's a couple articles I've seen about it. One, the most popular one I'm seeing, is that she was trying to prevent them from growing up to abuse women. And 2, she was saying that the father was paying more attention to the sons than her one daughter. So she ended them. Now, the rhetoric that you spread about men being intrinsically worse than women is extremely dangerous, because what happens is you do get people with clear-cut mental illness like this woman. Nobody in their right mind would ever do something like this, right? But you get cases like this where they hear this rhetoric normalized, repeated in media, social media, in just day-to-day life, in college campuses. They talk about toxic masculinity so much that they actually convince people, even people without clear cognitive function abilities, obviously, that men are inherently evil. Men are born guilty, and they need to earn their way to being innocent, which is obviously false and ridiculous. But this rhetoric needs to stop, okay? And so next time I hear a woman say that misandry is not as bad as misogyny is worse, please explain to me why. Why do you think it's worse? Why do you think that intrinsically hating women is worse than intrinsically hating men? Because it is not. All right? And this is what you see often. It's because of power structures. Women, when they tend to be abusers or they tend to be evil, they tend to take it out on smaller beings than them, like children. She killed her own children. Just like men, when they are evil, which is not every man, it's not even half, it's not even 20%, it's not even 10% of men. When men are evil, they take it out on weaker beings, being women, children sometimes, and often weaker men. It's not a fact that men are inherently worse than women. It's just that bad people and evil exists across the board. That needs to be dealt with. But spreading very dangerous rhetoric that men are evil, this is exactly the kind of stuff that comes from men. I'm sorry. We need to stop.
And like I said, and she just confirmed it, it's not even 10%. The number is small. It's a small percentage. Can you believe somewhere around 90, I think it was like 92% and upwards of men are not going to continue. They're not even thinking about putting their hands on a woman, never have and never will. 90, it's upwards. It starts at somewhere around 92. I can't remember the exact figures because I think in one of it's like 92 to 95. And then in the other statistic, it's like 94 to 96 or something like that. That a man, I think it's like 92 to 95% of men or something like that will ever harm a woman. And then I think it's like 94 to like 96% of men will never essay a woman. So it's like it's very small rates. Very small rate.
My choice was to be a stay-at-home mom, and now I have to be okay with my husband getting 50% custody of my kids, our kids. And then I also have to be okay with the fact that when they are with him, they are most likely going to be taken care of by a nanny or a babysitter. So instead of me getting to spend that time with my children, because I don't work and I'm home, I have to be okay with them spending time with a nanny. And I get it. He works, so he's going to need some kind of help. But, like, why can't I spend that extra time with my kids? why is it okay that we're getting divorced and he gets 50-50 custody, but also gets to hire a babysitter because he's not a stay-at-home dad. He has to work. So like, I asked him if I could be his babysitter, and he said no. He objected and declined. He said no as many times as he could say no, that's a no, that I cannot be his babysitter and I can't spend the time that he's at work with my kids like I have always done. Why is this okay? Like, why? So all of a sudden, you've never been able to pick our kids up from school. You've never been able to be home until 6:30 p.m., which I get, maybe he didn't want to come home because I was here. But that's why I was a stay-at-home mom, because he worked and I could pick them up from school and do everything for them until he got home from work. But now, like, we're getting divorced and I have to be okay with losing. I lost my husband, I lost my family, and now I'm losing out on half of my kids' lives, and half of that time they're not even going to be with the other parent. They're going to be with a sitter. How's that okay? How's that okay? That is not okay. If I'm available, then I believe if he needs a babysitter, that I should be able to spend that time with my kids. Am I wrong about that? Like, they're my kids. Why should a babysitter get precedence over the mom? That's so strange to me. Why is that okay? Is that only in Florida? Y'all, please help.
I mean, even in divorce, modern women don't want you to be happy. They don't want you to have your side of the equation figured out simply because they're all over the place. What he's doing on his side with the kids, unless it's criminal, don't have nothing to do with you. You got to stay out of that man's business. It's probably why y'all are in the position that you're in right now. He got tired of it. If I remember correctly, this is the same woman that's saying, my husband decided he wanted to go ahead and get the divorce. Yes, because you have been a nightmare and a terror, and it looks like you're continuing to do the same thing. I see here you say Courtney gets fit. Why don't you work on starting a business like that? I mean, just do that. Just start a trainer business and go from there. I mean, I'm looking at her page. I think this is the same one. Yeah, this is it. Yeah, this is it. This is the same video where she was talking about, oh, I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't know what's going to happen. My husband says he wants to get a divorce and I'm a stay-at-home mom. And I don't have any money. I don't have a job, yada, yada, yada. And all that other nonsense. And women were jumping in the comments talking about, oh, this is what men do, yada, yada, yada. They didn't listen. They didn't listen to what she was saying. They didn't go down her page. And when they did, they still going to blame it on the man. She had been going through some stuff and basically, by her own admission, being a terror to that man. And when that man came back and said, I think I want to go ahead and go through with the divorce, that would signal to you that he had already been talking to her about divorce. And he finally got fed up with everything that she was doing because she was not changing. She probably told him, well, let's give this a try. I want to do this for the kids. Oh, please, just give me another chance. I've been going through stuff. I've been working through stuff. And finally, that last time he just said, no, it's just too much. I want out. And now here you are on the internet talking about what you don't want him to have. You need to, and I appreciate some of the women in the comments saying this, you need to be worried about yourself and getting better. Oh, I want the kids to be with me when they're not. Well, if he's at work, I don't want them to be with a nanny or anybody at his house. Some of the women in the comments are like, you're going to be working too. You're going to be working too. You're no longer a stay-at-home mom. You're going to be busy as well. She don't think like that. Most modern women don't. Responsibility, accountability, what's that?
I just realized that the reason men think that girls have to give it up to get something expensive out of a man is because they're broke and they've never touched that amount of money, let alone enough money to throw that kind of money and not care. Like, they seriously have no clue how easy it is to get something out of someone who's got it like that, right? Because it's not tricking if you got it. And I was sitting here and I'm like, damn, why do they think that women are giving it up to get stuff like this? I get free shit all the time. And I'm like, oh, because you've never had that amount of money to throw and be okay with it being gone.
Like, when a man has it, all you have to do is ask. And most of the time, you don't even have to ask. It'll just appear. And I'm like, oh, you wouldn't even be able to do that if you wanted to. Because you can't afford it.
It ain't tricking if you got it. It is. It is tricking if you got it. What you're talking about is S work. Well, I'm not going to give you this if this, and that. Well, you got to give me this if we're going to hang out. If you're going to fly me out, or if I'm going to allow you to fly me out, then this is what you got to give me. You guys are teetering. That's all I'm saying. Maybe you're not all the way there, but you're definitely teetering.
I just watched a video of a man that said he hates when other guys say, oh, you're supposed to love me when I was down, and then once I make it, we celebrate at the top. He goes on to say that is not accurate whatsoever. And any girl that loves a man when they're down financially means that she doesn't love herself. And I had to rewatch that video to make sure I was like hearing this from a man, because I was really shocked that this came from a man. But that couldn't be more true. He literally says, you should not love a man when they're down because they are supposed to provide for you. So if they're down and they can't provide for you, then you don't love yourself enough. And that's crazy because, again, that came from a man, not a female. That came from a man. But again, I couldn't agree more.
So I'm going to let you in on a secret that maybe you might not have known. The vows say for better or for worse, for rich or for poor, in sickness and in health. Y'all seem to think that for a man, it means for, are you going to love this woman when she's worse, poor, sick? And y'all get to say on the other side of the equation, are you going to love this man and hold him down when he's rich, well, and doing just fine? Rich, well, for better. For better. Y'all got to stop talking. Y'all don't know how stupid you sound. He didn't know how stupid he sounded when he said that. We don't call women, modern women, losers enough. And apparently, we don't call him a loser enough. He's a loser.
Oh, he's just using you because you let him do whatever he wants. He lets me do whatever I want. I'm at his house, first 5 minutes, I'm breakdancing on his floor. I'm in his pantry getting a snack. He's offering me a scoop of his protein to take home, a little care package. I'm having fun, he's having fun, we both want this, and we both don't want to talk to each other until the next time. So, who's losing here? Nobody.
Once again, femcel fatigue. These modern women do not want you to be happy at all. Like, not even close.
Women are out here talking about how men want mothers, and they don't want to be their mother. They don't need a man child. They don't need to take care of a man. They don't want to take care of a man. But then turn around and say, I want a man who takes care of all the bills, who makes all of the money, and I can stay home. I want a man who makes all the plans and drives all the time and takes care of everything, and I call him daddy.
You know how I know monogamy between a man and a woman never worked? Because the second women had a choice not to be in a monogamous relationship with a man, all of a sudden the divorce rates, mostly initiated by women, by the way, are over 50%. I hope that helps you decenter men.
Somebody in the comments said femcel fatigue, and I couldn't agree more. This is what you came up with. This is the thinking. Once again, this is them going to college and getting a bachelor's degree and whatever they're getting a bachelor's degree in, and this is the critical thought that we get for our money.
She bet him $100 that she can knock him down. She has excellent form and hip drive, but keep in mind he is a professional heavyweight boxer and has literal abs of steel. and this is why weight classes were invented.
Why weren't these tradcons an issue when it came to women's liberation, but they are when it comes to men's liberation?
Men's liberation from what exactly?
From traditional roles.
You can believe whatever you want to believe. You can be in a traditional role, and that's not a negative thing.
You know, I suppose it's because it feels like these traditional conservatives are, in some ways, more policing men than women, honestly.
Why do you feel that way?
Well, I feel that way because I feel like there's been room for women to grow and be independent and express themselves. But I think the patriarchy affects all of us, and especially men as well.
And of course, never mind.
See, and this is y'all problem. I had 2 people DM me and tell me to look up men planking till failure. So I was like, oh, okay, is this a new trend where we go and laugh at men when they fall? Imagine my surprise when I look at the videos and I'm like, this isn't particularly funny. Look at the comments. I'm like, oh, y'all are down bad? This is why men don't even have to lust after us anymore. We doing the lusting. Let's start a new trend. Men filling out job applications. Men buying houses. Men watching their kids. That really would get me going. That really gets me going. Men paying bills. Men shutting the fuck up. Can we start that trend? Can we start that trend? Don't tag me no bullshit like that, okay? I don't care. I'm not trying to look at no TikTok nigga doing no weird freaky shit. Y'all are freaked out. Y'all are freaked out. This is a family app. I'm disappointed in you, sister. Why are you watching that? Didn't I tell you to stop giving them that internet attention like you're doing? So they go out and they think that they're the prize because we're looking up videos of them planking till failure? Are you that down bad? Have you learned nothing? It's almost like I'm talking to myself. This is why they started calling themselves man baddies. Y'all are treating them like one. Log off. Log off right now before I put my hands on you. Log off.
And this is the type of stuff that they're talking about. The first video I saw about it, I didn't even have to go look at the trend to know that she was being lustful. But here's a couple of the videos if you don't know what it is.
TikTok girlies, look up men planking till failure. That's it. Look it up. I'll take the creator that put me onto it. Y'all, go look it up. Okay.
I hope all the men know that your girlfriend is probably watching a man plank until your girlfriend is watching other men plank till failure.
And to whoever told these men to start planking until failure, thank you. I've discovered things about myself. I'm a sick. I saw another person talking about it on here and I said, what the hell are they actually talking about? And I saw it was a blue comment and I clicked it and my life was changed. Why y'all got me looking at that? I'm a Christian woman. I can't be having these thoughts. The Lord knows. These lustful thoughts, bro. Help me, God. Anyways, tag me and send me more.
If none of us knew what this was before, I think we're all finding out now. And some of us aren't going to make it to the second video. I'm telling you, some of our like delicate little hearts are not going to be able to take it. Sisters are about to be found dead on the ground from a heart attack, clutching their cell phones. So ladies, make sure your phone has a really good drop-proof case so at least they can see what killed you. So that we all know that you died of natural causes, because there's nothing more natural. Whoever is telling these men to plank until failure is absolutely diabolical. The very first one I saw, what were you thinking? Okay, we know exactly what you were thinking. God forbid a girl look up how to plank right now. And you know it's for you whenever you look at the comment section and it is literally nothing but like your people in the comment section. One of us posted that she's gonna play it as white noise to fall asleep at night. Like, girl, we all know why you are playing this video on repeat. The person said she's never understood what a religious experience was until now. Honey, that is not a religious experience. Are you going to pray for it again later? Absolutely. Are you going to get on your hands and knees for this? Yes, but this is a little bit different. So I hope there are no youngins still left on this app, because if preteen me had seen this, I would have grown up wild. Like, boy, don't talk to me. If you want to say something to me, you need to let me see you plank.
Woman in the comments here says, Girl, did you say something? So you're not paying attention to anything that she said. You're just busting. Guy here in the comments says they want you to make $100,000 a month to pay for everything. Don't want you liking other girls' pics. Won't cook, won't clean, and will watch a stranger plank until failure and get turned on. Somebody said, girl, shut the F up. Another guy says how she wants us to react. And it's just a photo or like a meme of somebody's mind being blown. Like a man's mind being blown. Like, oh my God, oh no. But we already knew that you guys were like this. We already knew that you guys were, you couldn't control yourselves. And this only proves it. I mean, it doesn't matter what age, from all different ages, sizes, shapes, religions. You got a woman right here talking about, I'm a Christian or whatever it is. God wouldn't like me having these thoughts. I mean, we all have lustful thoughts, but I mean, why are you getting online talking about it instead of talking about trying to overcome it? But you know, it is what it is, right? Yeah, thirsty women.
Y'all, we at work and this girl nigga pulled up, hopped out the car, opened the door for her, closed it, and then went back inside and drove off. Y'all, I hate my man.
If I owned a house, I would charge my boyfriend rent. But if he owned the house, then I would not pay him rent. Hear me out. I don't want to live with someone before I'm married. So if someone really wanted to live with me to like test it out or whatever, first of all, I probably would not be dating that person. But if they really wanted to, then yeah, they're going to pay me rent. Now, if the roles were reversed and they own the house, I would not want to pay them rent because I'm perfectly fine paying my own rent in my own apartment before we get married. In fact, that is my preference. That is my strong preference. So if they want to go against my preference, no, I'm not going to pay them to do something that I don't want to do. If we both wanted to live together before we got married, then we'd both pay rent. We'd split it, whatever. We'd figure out a situation where it worked out. But like, we would both pay something towards the rent.
I don't mean this in an offensive way at all, I swear to God. But I feel like I see an attractive man like once every 30 men that I see. I see a bad bitch everywhere I go. Even an average looking bad bitch everywhere I go. An average looking, good looking man, I don't be seeing him. And I don't like that.
I mean, you just destroyed your own argument by calling her average. And that's exactly what she is. That's exactly what a lot of you women are. Even though y'all try to put on makeup and do your hair, that's exactly what you are, is average. You just spoke right.
Where are the real men at? Like, what happened to men? I was in a relationship for about 3 years and now I'm single, and now I see what all the girlies be talking about. Like, these men just want princess treatment. They want to talk to you when they feel like it. They want you to text them first. They want to have small talk. They offer you nothing. They ask you what you bring to the table, and it's like, do I look like a server? Like, what happened?
So I want to since we're talking about the men have nothing to offer, the men have nothing to offer us. You know, why don't the men chase anymore? You know, you just said you got out of a relationship, right? And this is what you're going to show us straight off the bat. Okay. Let's see if we can find that other video of you here. Oh, she's trying to get paid on this. Eligible for commissions. Okay. Acting like you're in your bottle girl era. So you get out of a relationship and you start acting a fool. Is that it? I can't wait to get out of a relationship and start dropping it low. Can't wait till I get out of a relationship and start going crazy. I love that. That's fantastic. Any man would be proud. From relearning how to walk to jump rope for the first time today. God is so good. I good for, I didn't know that you were injured, but good for you for healing. But do we need to see the backside of you jumping rope? Maybe we could see, I don't know, the side. Maybe we can see the front of you jumping rope. Maybe you can give us all different angles, right? Since this is not content to look at your behind. But we talking about how it's a shortage of quality men out here, when the first thing that you're doing when you get up out of a relationship is show your behind. Yeah, man, I'm sorry, man. I just, good for you for getting your body back to, whatever it was. I think I read that she was in a wheelchair or something like that. Good on you, man. I'm serious. Good on you. I'm glad that happened to you, but it's a no for me, man. I don't want to do it. I don't, when you're behind has to be your content. What? Anyways, man, you guys do whatever you want.
Because I know a lot of girls that travel alone, okay? They are getting fucked.
The only thing getting cracked is my credit card. Bro, you guys want to believe that women can't travel alone so bad. Let me show you something. Do you see anybody's son here? Do you see anyone else's gorilla grippers in this bed but mine? Okay.
You showing that empty room don't really tell us nothing. Because most women want to be in the room alone. That's the problem. They're getting flown out and they want to stay in the room alone. They want to get flown out on a man's dime. But if you're going to certain places, you're going to have to pay up, is I think what her point is. Oh, I'm going on a solo trip. It's just for me. Come to find out that solo trip is to a place where people pay you to do weird things to you. And you take that money. Oh, there ain't nobody in my room. Of course they wouldn't be in your room. They don't want to come there. You're going to go to wherever they are. Not rocket science.
Now, I know what I'm about to say is not new news to anyone, okay? But I just need to remind everyone what us gals on the dating apps have to go through just to find someone remotely able to go on a date with, okay? Let me just show you one quick little thing. So I'm swiping, as one does, and I come across this. Oh, okay. You like mustache, red-haired, gym-loving military men. This is the part that really gets me. If I can bench you, you're probably my type. That's a really bold thing to say, okay? I expect you to be gigantic. You better have the biggest biceps and chest I've ever seen, okay? Tell me if you're surprised to know I have bigger biceps than the man who said that. You let me know.
They got a lot of nerve out here, man. They really do. They got a lot of nerve. They got a lot of nerve out here. That's crazy work.
Note to self. Can we bring back the 90s trend of men just being head over heels for girls that they're trying to get? And they do the most absurd things with no ego to try and get their attention. Like, yeah, stand outside my house with a jukebox on your shoulder and throw rocks at my window to get my attention. Make me a CD for my drive home from work every night. Cut out bits from a magazine to make me a collage. Meet me outside my work with flowers. I don't know.
Somebody in the comments said, we need the 90s girl back first. That's true. And for some of these women in the 90s, you don't even need that back. You actually might need, can't even say back in the late 60s. You can't say that. You can't say the early 70s because they were going buck wild. So I'm not sure who we need back, actually.
What I looked for in a guy 2 years ago is drastically different from what I look for now at 25, because I've realized I honestly just want someone like my dad. I don't want the cool guy who's telling me these wild stories about his weekend debauchery, acting hot and cold. It stresses me out, and it is also scientifically impossible to build a genuine connection with someone when you're trying to act cooler than them. Like, that is why the Don Drapers and Kendall Roys of the world ended up alone. You know how that story ends. And it's tough because obviously I'm seeing my dad in his most mature state. He's had years to grow into his character, but still, when I'm dating someone and I feel like that person doesn't bring me peace and don't even feel like I can be myself around them, I just now tell myself that he's not the one, babe.
Someone in the comments said, ran through and chased after dudes who used her, and now she wants a normal, nice guy. Somebody else said, why don't you want cool guys anymore? They're fun and they give great memories. Right? Somebody else said, probably should start by looking for some clothes. Yeah, you probably need to put some clothes on, to be honest. You guys now approaching your 30s want a stable man. Okay? I want a stable man. You know, I had my fun. I was going crazy. And now I want to settle down. Honestly and truly, some of these women wouldn't have, they would not have, I don't think they would have arrived at this decision until they were like, honestly, 29, 30, 31 years old. And that's when they would have wanted to stop and start looking for men. But she's at 25, so I don't know if, you know, that's a good thing or, you know, maybe there's hope.
We all know of girl dinner, but let me introduce you to boy dinner. It's my husband's birthday. I offered to him, we can go out, nice reservation, his favorite French spot, literally a Michelin spot. He said, no, my dream is this. And I quote, every meat we have in the freezer, fries, and a lot of dipping sauces. So we got filet mignon, chicken, pulled pork. I made slow cooker ribs, 2 types of fries, and a bucket of sauce. Boy dinner.
And I don't care if you just started talking to that man a week before your birthday. If he doesn't get you a gift, he's done.
And I hope a lot of men see this video so they can promptly avoid foolishness like this. Somebody said there's no excuse. Honestly, it's not an excuse. I'm not giving an excuse. I'm not going to get you anything at all.
This no shade, no tea. This no shade, no tea, no hate, no nothing. I just think I find it fascinating that I invited 2 males who expressed interest in reading our book club books. I invited them to read our book for December, right? I told them about it on, let me look at the date. Okay, on December 8th, I told them about the book and I said the due date is January 4th. That's when we're going to be discussing it, right? Ask me of the 2 who finished the book and who showed up for the discussion. Go ahead, I'll let you guess. If you guessed neither one of them, you are correct. You are correct. I don't think that should have been hard. Yeah, neither one of them finished the book, let alone showed up to the discussion. Actually, one, in fact, prioritized the Ravens game, which I'm pretty sure they lost, so, over book club. And listen, Linda, listen. I don't have really much to say. I just have to say that it's telling. It's telling about the state of where men are at. We chose a book that was written by a man. They are black people, and so we chose a black book. Like, it was one that would have been of interest to them. It was an interesting topic. It wasn't no girly pop shit, nothing like that. Neither one of them finished the book, and neither one of them showed up to discussion. I'll leave that there.
I would have done the exact same thing. I'm not going to a book club over a Ravens game. Unless, especially if they're in the playoffs. Unless it's a book that has a TV inside of it so I can watch the Ravens game.
Ladies, I don't understand going on dates for free dinner. Like, if you don't like that man, you're going on a date for dinner. Ew! You're working. You're working for that dinner because you're servicing entertainment to a man for dinner. Like, oh, are you excited for your date tonight? No, I'm just going for free dinner. You don't like him, yet you're gonna hang out. I can pay for it. Let's go to dinner if you need dinner that bad. Like, I'll pay for dinner. We'll have a girls' night, honey. You don't have to do all that. You're a working lady at that point. You are working for dinner. We could do other things. We could pick up an extra shift. We could volunteer. We could volunteer like a retirement home. I'm sure they give nice food. You don't have to do all that.
The only problem is most of you aren't entertaining. You don't have anything to talk about. You're not interesting people. So you're not actually working. It would, by default, be a free dinner for you. That's why they're going. They're not really going there to entertain. They got bored at the house and they wanted something to do. Okay, well, I'll go out with him. Is what that is. I don't really like that guy. So it's more or less something to get out the house and do. Could be on a Friday night, could be on a Thursday night. I'm free. Why not? I'm not doing anything else. And whenever I get back to the house, I just block him. Why not? Why not? I'll just block him. I don't have to see him again. I'll unmatch him. He don't know where I stay. So what are the repercussions? What are the consequences of my action? Which is what a lot of modern women do. This is how they think. Well, I just feel like doing something for the plot. I don't like the guy. The internet will know that you don't like the guy before the guy knows that you don't like him. And you'll go out with him anyway, knowing that you don't like him at all. Just for the plot. It's not funny. You guys need to get a life.
I'm 31 years old. I live by myself. I pay all my own bills. I pay for my rent, my insurance, my car, my this, my that, my student loans. And I cook and clean. And I work out. And I take care of myself. And I look good. And I show up for my family. And I show up for my friends. What makes you think that I'm impressed by, come over and chill, we'll figure it out? Next.
So basically you're telling me you're a grown adult. You're an adult, is what you're telling me. There's nothing else that you need to be saying after that. You're an adult. Period. End of story.
I didn't know that Desmond and Christy Scott were Jehovah's Witnesses, right? Which adds a different dynamic and a different perspective in regards to their divorce, because from what I've learned the last couple of days, if you do not follow their guidelines and parameters, you'll be excommunicated. Marriage is for life, and that the only circumstance where you can get divorced is unless the individual cheated, one of the parties cheated, and there's no reconciliation. That's it. That's the only time divorce is allowed within that faith, or you'll get excommunicated. So knowing that, people keep projecting Christian values onto their divorce versus looking at it from the lens as a Jehovah's Witness. Is like, y'all hoes are projecting hard. I mean, the amount of think pieces that I've seen regarding, oh, he's jealous of her. Men are always embarrassing women. You know, as soon as your career is done, a man is always going to try to sabotage what you got. And I'm like, did it ever occur? Did it ever occur that maybe, just maybe, Christy might have been so insufferable that he opted to cheat in order for him not to be excommunicated? Because he wanted to maintain his faith. He chose his faith over staying married to someone who is making him miserable. Point number 2 is, you can tell that the women online's ego is so inflated that they can't seem to conceptualize and grasp that maybe a man can genuinely be unhappy in his marriage. But she's beautiful, she's hot, she's successful, and so what? And I keep saying this over and over again. A lot of you women think that all you need is just to be pretty with a nice body and that's it. A lot of y'all got some nasty ass personalities and characters. Did it ever occur that with all of the shit that she's been showing us online, that shit got old and tired? And you can see that he checked out. It's very obvious and apparent that they checked out. That maybe he was just simply unhappy. What makes the whole situation so hypocritical is if the situation was in reverse, where he was embarrassing her, he was disrespecting her, he was humiliating her, y'all hoes would be doing all sorts of think pieces, talking about, oh, this is abuse, you deserve better than that, you should leave, this, that, and the third, right? The number of times that I've seen women come up on the internet when another woman posts how unhappy she is in her marriage, you should leave, you should leave, you should leave. But let a man show, he ain't even have to say it, he is showing he is unhappy in his marriage. Well, you need to communicate better. You need to endure. You need to do this, that, and third. And it's like, what's the difference between him and Cardi B? And then y'all sit there and go with the gaslighting, talking about, well, cheating shouldn't be the option. Based off of their faith, and I'm looking at it from the lens of their faith and knowing what the rules are of their faith, he probably did communicate that he wanted out of the marriage. He probably communicated that he was unhappy and she did not fucking care. The same way y'all don't care. And he was like, well, fuck it, I'll cheat. Maybe he didn't cheat and said that he cheated in order for him to get out of that marriage. Did it ever occur that maybe she was so insufferable and he was so unhappy and he did not want to risk getting excommunicated that he just said, yeah, I cheated, and admitted it? He didn't get caught. He admitted it. Maybe he didn't cheat. Maybe he just said he cheated just so that way he could be free of that marriage. I know what it's like to be married to someone that makes me perpetually miserable. But the fact that women can't seem to grasp and comprehend that a man can be unhappy with a woman, especially if she's beautiful and successful, is just lost on you. At the end of the day, it's all speculation in regards to who did what and why. You know, they only show us this much. I caught on that there was something amiss with the marriage months ago, when they stopped wearing their wedding bands, when she was attending all of those events solo, his micro expressions where he was just so over it, the way she was treating him, it was compounded. So I was surprised, but I wasn't surprised at the same time. It is what it is. But at the end of the day, it's their lives. It's easier for him to either admit that he cheated or he did cheat it because he'll be fine. He'll recover. Versus if it was the other way around where she cheated, she wouldn't recover. Her brand and her career would be negatively affected. Men will easily bounce back. They can kind of suffer the brunt of it. Desmond is an attractive man. He is successful in his own right. He'll be all right, you know? But one thing for sure, two things for certain, divorce is rough, regardless of if you're the man or the woman. It is rough. It is a roller coaster of emotions, and they do deserve privacy so they can process all of that.
I don't know if I would cheat, to be honest, just to do that, but I do see where you're coming from. There's another video, I didn't even know was real, of him messing around with a lady. Like I've said in other videos, they want Christy to eat. They want Christy to be the hero. Desmond's going to be just fine. Desmond's going to be just fine. I think I went to his page the other day and people were like, women obviously, were trying to downvote his page or tank his page on Facebook, I think it is, and trying to make it crash, like giving bad ratings and stuff like that. Of course you are, because you have no self-control. You're out here trying to, I guess, ride for Christy when that woman don't even know you, right? You're in there commenting on something that you've never even experienced. But of course you would, because you're a modern woman and you don't know what happened. You're just going to take sides, right? Just talked to my wife about it today. I don't care what's going on between them. That's not my relationship. So whatever he does, whatever she does, I don't care. Well, you don't think that Desmond was this and that? I don't care what they got going on. They not in my house. They not paying my bills. If he want to go out there and kiss another woman in the mouth, oh, well, she's trans. I don't care if she's an engine. What does that matter to me? You're still not in my house. You're not paying my bills at all. At all. Why would I care? This woman went out there, she being petty. She went out there and posted a picture of her in a red dress talking about same address. That was petty. Y'all want to play these types of games? Desmond saying, hey, man, we can play. If that's the type of game that you want to play, we can play that. Keep that stuff offline, man. You don't want your kids to get online and see all of that nonsense. Do you? No, you don't want to see that. Keep that stuff offline. Both of y'all.
Y'all have been begging me to talk about this topic, and today is your lucky day. Let's call out some homophobic bitches, shall we?
I am treading dangerous waters by saying this, but I think that a lot of you women's obsession with trying to find the smallest thing to call a man gay over is because y'all have a indirect kink for gay men.
I agree with this point on so many levels, I don't even know where to start. Let's start off with the ones that are attracted to the bad boy, YN, gangster, scammer, whatever. Those men are typically men that were raised by their mamas. So they have all of this feminine energy. Any man that is willing to shoot somebody over stepping on their J's, that's a feminine man. That is a man who is letting himself be led by his emotions in the same way that women do. So a lot of the girls are attracted to that. On the other end of that, I think they're attracted to these gay men secretly because a lot of these men in Hollywood are gay men. And these are the men that they love, idolize. I remember being a child and seeing the girls fan out over Trey Songz. And I was like, that's a gay man. And they were like, no, he's not. No, he's not. Yes, he is. August Alsina. I'll even say Chris Brown, and I don't care. Who want to fight me in the comments? These are gay men that y'all are lusting after. They've always been gay men. If the Diddy documentary told you nothing, these are gay men. Y'all like gay men. So although it's really trendy right now to be calling all these men sassy and gay and all that stuff, really, y'all like that. Y'all have always liked that. And I secretly think you also like women, but we don't even have to go there.